to the statement of the good secretary that he will be regularly reporting to Congress what he has been doing in the DPWH to correct, no, those mistakes, no, in the past. Ikaw lang po yung secretary na nagsabi niyan. Kabaligtaran po yung ginawa ng National Irrigation na tinanong ko, very clear sa GAA, special provision na magre-report sila quarterly doon sa mga irrigation na natapos o hindi. Pero hindi sila nagre-report. But here you are, voluntarily, you are telling Congress that you will regularly report. So, I really appreciate that, Mr. Secretary. Now, to the issue, Mr. Secretary, that I have been raising for the past 6 years that I've been here in Congress na parang nagbibingi-bingihan ang DPWH. Itong mga pambayad po, itagalog ko na lang kasi yung 6 na taon, ini-English ko eh. Baka hindi naintindihan ng taga-DPWH. Yung pong budget pambayad ng DPWH sa full relocation ng mga poste na tinatamaan ng ating national highways, no, mga national projects na road widening. Bakit po year in, year out, alam naman po nila, nasa gitna na yung mga poste. In the case of electric cooperatives, Mr. Secretary, alam ko hindi mo to alam, pero alam po to ng mga katabi mo dyan. Bakit po hindi nila nilalagay sa NEP? Marami na pong namatay, ang tinuturo po yung mga distribution utilities. Malinaw naman po yung intent ng batas na kaya babayaran yon in the case of electric cooperatives because these entities are non-stock, non-profit, serving the non-viable areas in the country, yung mga parplang. At kung hindi po ito babayaran ng gobyerno, yung cost of relocation ay ipapasa po yon sa mga consumers. At sasabihin na naman po na nagtaas yung presyo ng kuryente. So, bakit po? For last year po, 200 million lang ang ginawa niyong budget. Alam naman po ninyo, 5 billion na po yung accumulated, no, na cost of full relocation including Meralco and the other distribution utilities. Ngayon, yung NEP natin sa 2026, Mr. Secretary, originally 2 billion. Pero ngayon, binawasan na po 1 billion na lang. Can I get for the last time sana, na-erase ko to, can I get the commitment from our new Secretary na yung accumulated amount na as of now is 4.8 billion ay mailagay na natin sa ating NEP sa 2026 para mailipat na po yung mga poste na yan without cost on the people. Mga inosente po yung mga tao na yon. This is part of the project cost, Mr. Secretary.
Opo. Mr. Chair, Congressman, alam niyo ho, itong relocation ng utilities, napaka-importante po ito, no? At ngayon ko lang po nakita yung mga numero. And again, I think more than the budget itself, no, is ang nagiging problema dito is yung paggamit ng pondo. And I have been told na meron pa po tayong unutilized mula pa ng 2022. No, marami pa pong pondo dito na hindi pa nagagamit. No, dahil po ay na-explain po sa akin dahil po ang daming mga requirements, etc., etc. Pero bottom line is, ito po ang isa sa mga example ng pinopondohan po ng Kongreso ang DPWH, pero po, ang nagiging problema, hindi yung pondo, kundi yung paggamit ng pondo. No? So, as of now po, yung 2023, 24, at 25, meron pa pong natitirang more than 500 million. No? Just in those 3 years. No? Kaya nga po, ang issue po talaga dito is how efficient is the agency in utilizing the budget it is given by Congress. So, I have to get to the bottom of it po, Mr. Chair. I know it's very, very important. I agree with you 100%. Pero ang commitment ko po sa inyo, ngayon po na nandito na po ako, talagang ipaprioritize ko po ang paggamit nitong pondong to para finally po, yung mga kailangang i-relocate na. Halimbawa po, baka naman po ang pinakamadaling gawin dito para mas mabilis, i-MOA na lang natin o i-download na lang natin sa local governments ang pagre-relocate para po, baka mas mabilis po yun. No? Isa po yun sa mga sigurong pag-aaralan natin, Mr. Chair. No? Pero kailangan po talaga, tama po kayo, kailangan magamit po ang pondo.
Mr. Chair, para sa kaalaman ni Secretary, mayroon na po tayong kumpletong joint memorandum circular nito from the Department of Energy and the DPWH. Very simple lang. Susundin lang natin yung GMC kasi dapat po doon pa sa paggawa ng program of work. Pero sabi mo nga, marami tayong project, wala namang program of work. Basta na lang susulpot diyan sa sa NEP natin, sa GAA. So, susundin lang po 'yon. Ang latest po, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, na agreement last year, gagawa po ng Joint Memorandum Circular number 4. Tatlo na po yung nandyan. Gagawa ng number 4 para yung pondo ilipat sa National Electrification Administration, tapos yung NIA na ang magdi-disburse. Kasi under the GMC, tatlong GMC, ang NIA naman po ang may final say, mag-evaluate doon sa aming ikiklaim, hindi po yun masusunod. Kung mag-claim kami, ang cost is 1 million, pero sasabihin ng NIA, no, ang mag-claim ninyo ay 2,000 lang. Yung pong NIA ang masusunod. Kaya po matagal kasi iba-iba po, Mr. Chair, ang interpretasyon ng regional director, iba ang interpretasyon ng district engineer doon sa GMC. Tira ng tira lang sila, ipaalam sa electric co-op, nag-umpisa na yung construction. At alam ko po na ma-resolve mo to kasi pinabayaan nila to dahil walang kikita dito sa ganito kasi actual cost. Ang inuuna nila, with all due respect, doon sa mga hindi gumagawa ng kalokohan, ang inuuna nila, yung may pangkasino sila. So, I hope, no, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, na under your watch, wala na tayong issue next year budget kasi may 3 taon pa ko dito, wala na tayong issue regarding sa full relocation. Can I get the commitment from our good Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, you absolutely have it po. And we will plug these bottlenecks, plug these loopholes. At ako po, ang commitment ko po sa inyo, bibilisan po natin to. Kung mas mabilis po talaga, sa NEA na lang tayo dadaan, then yun po ang gagawin natin.
Thank you for that commitment. Tutulong po kami. Alam naman po ni Yosik yan. Matagal na po kaming tumulong. Hindi lang makipagtulungan yung in charge. Nandito po ba si Attorney Daryl Patrick Garcia? Nasa DP pa siya? Si Attorney Nico Tupas, nasa DP pa siya?
Thank you.
Yung pong si Attorney Tupas, rinigib ko po last week kasi masyado pong mayabang, nakipag-away po sa guard ng isang subdivision. So,
kita mo, so I hope na bago na yung team mo ngayon, later on, kung makasikan round ako, hihingin ko lang yung team mo na gumawa ng first NEP submission at saka yung team mo ngayon. Para lang malaman ko, baka marami pa dyan natitira na magbibigay ng ng inputs na kawawa yung ating mamamayan. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the extra time. Thank you, Secretary po.
Thank you very much, Representative Dagok. Like I said, like the Secretary said, bukas naman ang opisina niya para sa lahat ng mga konsultasyon mo para hindi ka na kailangan mag-round 2. Puntahan mo na lang siya para ma-resolve ninyo. So now we go back to the majority. I now recognize Vice Chair Brian Poe.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I first want to applaud the DPWH Secretary kasi siya mismo ang bumababa, siya mismo ang nagtatanong sa mga local government officials, sa mga kababayan natin kung ano yung mga issue sa mga projects that are being implemented poorly, no? At ramdam yan ng mga kababayan natin. So along those lines, I want to ask some questions regarding the ongoing investigation. Mr. Secretary, how many cases have been prepared so far?
Before you reply, Mr. Secretary, let me just interject. I hope with your permission and indulgence, kung okay lang po, magkaroon na lang tayo ng working lunch kasi anyway, magbe-break naman tayo ng 2:30 or 2:45 for expediency's sake. Thank
Absolutely
you very
po,
much.
Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you very
And
much.
no problem po. Kahit wala na pong lunch, okay lang po.
Yes, so returning to the question, ilan po ba yung mga kaso na nahanda po natin?
Opo, in the 2 weeks that we've been here po, we have filed one case. We filed it against 26 individuals last week, last Thursday. We are preparing, as of the moment, 3 more cases as of the moment. But we are currently in the process of investigating more than 100 projects nationwide. No, ngayon po na natayo na ang ICI, kami po ngayon ay nakikipag-coordinate na sa ICI para sa future filing of new cases. No, and based on my discussions po with the ICI in the past few days, ang goal po is that tuloy-tuloy po ang pagpa-file, and we are targeting po ng at least 1 case every week ang ipa-file. At least.
At least 1 case every week. And did I hear that right? Over 100 projects are being investigated at the moment.
Opo, and I think dadami pa po yan. Sa dami ng mga nagsusumite, hindi lamang sa amin, kundi pati na rin sa isumbong sa Pangulo website.
Dun sa mga complaints po natin, what year to what year are those complaints coming from?
Iba-iba po, Mr. Chair, no? Minsan po, marami po dito, pati po yung previous administration, no? Sa years 2017, 2018, 2019. Pero meron din pong mga nagpapadala ng mga reklamo nila at sumbong nila, ito pong mga recent, katulad po nitong mga nakaraang binisita natin sa Bulacan, sa kahapon sa La Union, etc. At sa mga susunod na araw din po, pati po sa Quezon City, meron po tayong bibisitahin dahil po dun sa press conference ni Mayor Joy Belmonte kahapon.
So out of the
They're
100...
spanning at least the past couple of years, and dun din po sa EO ng Pangulo, ang mandato po niya ay the past 10 years.
So the past 10 years we have complaints from projects spanning 10 years, no? Dito sa 100 projects that we're currently investigating, what year seems to have the most projects in question?
Hindi ko pa po masasabi kung ano ang ano, pero spread out po ito no? Meron pong mga 22, 23, 24, meron din pong mga iba na 2018, kagaya po nung binisita ng ating Pangulo sa Baguio, 2018 po yon. Meron din pong earlier than that. No? At meron din pong, even during the pandemic, meron din po tayong mga nakukuhang mga reklamo. So ano po ito, no? Talagang napakarami po, no? Kaya nga po, mabuti pong nagsimula na rin po ang trabaho ng ICI para po meron tayong katulong at katuwang dito.
Mr. Chair, I want to highlight this for the record that the cases span from 2017 all the way up until 2024, and more recently, the projects that are being investigated in Bulacan and La Union. My point being, this has been an institutional problem that we're trying to correct. Mr. Chair, if I may ask the good secretary, do you have any particular reforms that you want to highlight in the DPWH that our kababayans listening online can proudly listen to?
Actually, marami po tayong naiisip, no? At marami tayong gustong i-implement. Our only, I guess our only, right now, what we are dealing with is number 1, pagpasok ko po dito 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, is nabombard na po tayo ng napakaraming mga reklamo na nagsimula na rin po sa mga sumbong na pinadala sa ating Pangulo mismo. Kaya po, medyo nauubos po ang oras natin ngayon sa pag-iimbestiga ng mga kasong at proyektong rini-report sa atin. So tingin ko po, ang una pong order of business natin ngayon is kailangan i-address natin itong mga reklamong ito. Number 1 po yon. Because we have to make people accountable. At yun na po ang ginagawa natin, katulong na rin ngayon ng bagong tayong ICI. Kaya po, meron na tayong final na unang kaso. Sa aking pagkakaalam, meron pong panibagong kaso na ipa-file this week ang ICI. Nabigay na po namin ang mga dokumento para sa kasong iyon. At sa mga susunod na linggo, tuloy-tuloy po ito. And this will involve multiple personalities both from within the department and outside of the department. Parallel to that, nagsisimula na rin po tayong pag-aralan ng mabuti ang mga proseso sa DPWH. Dahil sa ating pag-i-inspect, sa ating pagkakausap sa mga tao mismo na nasa baba, pati na rin po ang ating mga local government officials, ang ating mga provincial officials, may nakikita na po tayong mga red flag na kailangan nating i-address. Halimbawa po, yung nasabi ko kanina, marami po sa mga proyektong iniimbestigahan natin ngayon ay simulat sa pool pa lamang, wala man lang ni plano. Una pong red flag yun. Dapat po, wala pong nakakalusot na proyekto na ginalagyan ng pondo sa budget na ini-implement, pinapabid, na wala man lang plano. Ngayon lang po ako nakakita ng departamento na nagkakaroon ng budget at naaawardan ng proyekto na wala man lang engineering plan. No, wala pa po ako nakikitang ganon. At talaga po ako'y nasa-shock na nangyayari po ito sa loob ng DPWH. That needs to be addressed immediately. And it should not be difficult to address it, Mr. Chairman. No? Kung i-require lang po natin na lahat ng proyektong bago ipasok sa budget, dapat may klarong plano, hindi po mangyayari ito. Pero mukhang hindi po yon ang nangyayari ngayon. At marami pa pong iba, no, na ito nga po, nag-issue na po tayo ng interim guidelines for public procurement na ginabas natin nung isang araw. Lahat po ito ay hindi bago, lahat po ito ay requirement sa ating mga batas at regulasyon ngayon, including the recently passed amended Government Procurement Act. Pero po, hindi po ito ginagawa. At hindi po ito strictly enforced. Sa lahat ng levels ng departamento, kailangan po ito ay strictly enforced. At kung hindi po ito sundin, meron po dapat klarong consequence ang hindi pagsunod dito. Yun po ay ginawa na natin klaro sa ating memorandum dated nung Monday, September 15, which I will provide po copies of to the Honorable Committee. Pero hindi pa po tayo pwedeng uminto dyan. Marami pa pong pwede po tayong baguhin. At again po, we will be very, very open to hearing suggestions from the members of the Honorable Committee para po talagang once and for all malinis na po natin itong mga prosesong ito.
Mr. Chair, to the credit of the Secretary, I do believe he's acting on the red flags that he discussed earlier because if I'm not mistaken, may mga locally funded projects na pinitigil muna to inspect. What is the current utilization rate of the department? Kasi syempre baka maapektuhan ang utilization rate dahil sa suspensions na ito.
Ito po, I will just read the facts. No? The current budget utilization rate is only 33%. And again, this was actually one of the considerations we made while we were visiting. Although, syempre po, given the limited time that we were given, hindi po natin nabusisi lahat ito. No? Pero, I think this needs a lot of improvement. Ang obligation rate, ito po yung naintindihan mo natin to as contracts being awarded, ay 66%. Ang disbursement rate, ito pong pagbayad, no, pag-release ng pondo, ay nasa 22% lang po. So hindi po ito mataas. Ito po ay as of June 30, 2025, kailangan pong pataasin ito. At dito na po tayo pumapasok din, hindi lamang sa kung magkano ang budget ng departamento, pero kung paano ka efficient ang paggamit ng departamento ng budget, which I think also needs to be a major consideration kapag humihingi po tayo every year ng budget sa Kongreso.
Mr. Chair, the reason why I asked this is to the credit of the Secretary and to the administration. 22% ang disbursement rate, which means there's still funds, there's still projects that are being monitored closely in this budget. It's safe to say that the 2025 budget is probably the closest monitored implementation in DPWH's history because of the public outcry of our kababayans and the swift action of the administration and our secretary. Is this correct?
This is what we will strive to do po. Ang sabi po ng Pangulo nung bago po ako umupo, kailangan pong i-monitor ng maigi ang pag-implement ng mga proyekto. Sad to say, what I have seen so far is very lacking. No, talaga pong itong mga proyektong ating in-inspect, hindi po talaga na-monitor ito ng maigi. Kaya isa po ito sa mga kailangang ayusin po natin. Kailangan po nating humingi ng tulong sa ating local stakeholders. Dahil po sa aking, as of the latest count, I think 25,000 po ang ongoing projects ng DPWH ngayon. Physically impossible pong i-monitor yan kung DPWH lang. So we will need to put in systems, we need to use technology, we need the help of our local stakeholders, civil society groups, our local government units, our provincial governments, to really help us monitor this. Kasi napakarami pong mga proyekto nito.
Pero for our kababayans listening online, Mr. Secretary, it's safe to say with 78% still to be dispersed, we can still save and implement the projects properly for 2025.
Yun po ang gagawin natin, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, moving on to my next question. In the 2026 budget naman po, you mentioned earlier that there are still some foreign-assisted flood control projects. I have here a copy of the NEP. Nakalagay dito may 1.2 billion pesos pa rin sa Metro Manila for flood control projects. Regarding these projects, I had my office compile the 5-year historical rainfall data and flood data from NOAA because I know you just came into office, so baka you're still catching up with all the data. We wanted to put it together. We will furnish a copy to DPWH because ang dami dito sa Metro Manila nagko-complain. Sa kanilang mga lugar, taon-taon may baha. Kaya we wanted to have this data ready for you para you can take action agad on these issues. Regarding the rest of the country, because we only had so much time to prepare this for you, Mr. Secretary, how is our coordination with Project NOAA to make sure that our data is accurate for the 15 billion pesos that will be spent?
For the foreign-assisted projects po na 15.7 billion, very close po ang coordination natin sa with the OST, with Project NOAA, and also with the funding agencies, no, to make sure na talagang that the projects, the foreign-assisted flood control projects, are really very responsive to the needs of the communities where these projects are going to be built. I think we have to really learn from the experience of these foreign-assisted projects in also implementing later on, no, since wala po tayo munang bagong flood control project for 2026. Tingin ko po important po matuto tayo sa mga lessons at sa mga best practices natin sa foreign-assisted projects, no? Na talagang may tamang pag-aaral, may tamang plano, at lahat po ng project ay base sa data kung paano talaga i-mitigate ang pagbabaha sa mga area kung saan itatayo ang mga projects nito. So, maraming salamat, Mr. Chair, kasi po, any data that you can provide us in addition to what we already have for the foreign-assisted projects will be very welcome po.
Maraming salamat po. And for our kababayans that are worried, kasi this, I believe, is the lowest flood control budget that DPWH has ever submitted to Congress. No?
I believe so, Mr. Chairman. And also one of the lowest, I think, in the past 6 years. Or 5 years. No, it's the lowest DPWH budget since 2020.
But this is important for our kababayans here because they're worried about the efficiency and wastage of government funds. So, dapat malaman nila yun. But aside from that also, yung mga kababayan natin in areas that regularly flood, they may be worried na baka wala ng pondo para sa kanilang mga lugar. I know that the Secretary will be using funds from 2024, 2025 that is still yet to be dispersed. Can you tell us how much funding they still have to be implemented properly by DPWH?
Mr. Chair, if I may just request for a few seconds to get some amounts.
Cheers.
While I'm waiting for the exact amount, Mr. Chair, let me just say, tama po si Congressman po na marami pa pong pondo na unutilized since even as far back as 2024, no, na hindi pa nagagamit. Kaya po, I think, yung prinsipyo po ng efficient utilization ng budget ay kailangan po talaga maging napaka-importanting basihan kapag ang isang ahensya tulad ng DPWH ay bumabalik sa Kongreso taon-taon para humingi ng pondo. The departments need to be judged not just on the budget proposal that they have made, but also more importantly, I think, on how efficiently and how effectively they have utilized, we have utilized the funding that we got from Congress over the past couple of years. So,
Mr.
let me
Chair,
just guess a rough number. How much? Kahit estimate. Mr. Chairman, pwede ko buo ba kayong balikan at I
Yes.
don't want to give a figure na inaccurate. Babalikan po kayo how much is still left from 24-25 based on the records of the DPWH.
Mr. Chair, so moving on quickly kasi limited din po yung oras natin. Another complaint of our kababayans are the road infrastructure. Na taon-taon, we do the same roads over and over again. Are there any safeguards or measures we're putting in place? Are we upping the standard for the asphalt or concrete that's used so we don't always have to reblock?
Kasama po yan sa mga reformang i-introduce natin. Ang sabi nga po ng Pangulo, ang kanyang programa ay Build Better More. No, ibig sabihin, we don't just build, but we have to build better. And better means better quality. No, and unfortunately, sad to say, yung quality ho ng marami sa ating mga roads is wanting. No, and we really need to not just ensure that money is well spent and disbursed efficiently, but we also have to make sure that the projects are of high quality standard. Unfortunately, hindi po yun ang nakikita natin dito sa mga inspections natin itong mga nakaraang linggo.
Mr. Chair, just to recap for the committee, one, the Secretary says that there are over 100 projects that are being investigated which span multiple Congresses, multiple administrations over the past 10 years. Two, there are suspended projects that have red flags which are being studied at the moment so that funds can be used properly because according to the Secretary, 22% pa lang ang disbursement, so there's still 78% to be dispersed for the rest of the year. Three, regarding the flooding in Metro Manila, this representation has submitted to the Secretary and his team 5-year historical data from NOAA to help supplement their studies. And then moving on to the lowest flood control and DPWH budget in recent Congresses. And lastly, there is a commitment from the Secretary that they will up the standards for our roads here in the Philippines. With that, Mr. Chair, I thank the Secretary for his efforts to correct the problems and issues that we face here today. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. One short question, Mr. Secretary. I know the enormous job ahead of you, especially in the investigation of all complaints coming from different parts of the country right now. My question is, how do you classify the complaints coming from legitimate complainants at doon sa mga politically motivated complaints? Alam mo, nagiging politika na ho ito ngayon sa baba. All of us here, congressmen, we have political opponents before, and of course, ito ng pagkakataon nilang babawi sa amin. So how do you classify those complaints? Kasi madami ho ang complaints ngayon.
Tama po kayo, no? At madami po talaga, no, ang mga reklamong natatanggap natin, no, from all over the country. Pero ngayon po, ang inuuna ho namin ay dalawa. Yung mga reported as ghost, number 1 po, yun ang top priority. So pag meron pong nag-report na may alleged, no, and I have to qualify, no, alleged ghost project, yan po, top of the list po immediately yan. At ikalawa po, yung sobrang substandard, no, na mga proyekto. Yan po ang dalawang pinagtutuunan po namin ng pansin ngayon at yan na rin po ang naging agreement namin ng Independent Commission on Infrastructure. Yan po talaga ang dalawang magiging priority ngayon. Kaya po, again, no, ngayon po na natayo na ang Independent Commission on Infrastructure, kami po ay closely working together ngayon, especially with Mayor Benji Magalong of Baguio, who is now the special advisor ng ICI. Yan po ang inuuna namin.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you. Co-chair, co-sponsor, Representative Momo. Now we go back to the minority, and the chair now recognizes Deputy Minority Leader Antonio Tino.
Thank you, Chair. Well, of course, ang headline figure po ngayon ay bumaba ng 252.53 billion ang resubmitted budget ng DPWH. And that is largely explained by, as pinaliwanag kanina, tinanggal yung flood control projects, except for a few na lang, mainly the foreign-funded flood control projects. Pero, in the interest of transparency po, at pag susuriin natin yung DPWH, marami pong mga realignment or pagdagdag at pagbawas sa loob mismo ng budget ng DPWH. So yun po ang gusto nating himayin ngayon, no? Kung kukumpara lang po natin yung original at saka yung resubmitted, nakita po natin na malaking binawas, for example, 21.46 billion sa right-of-way, 9.87 billion for feasibility and engineering studies, 30 billion for foreign assisted, and 7.42 sa locally funded projects. No? Tapos yung network development, binawasan ng 5.72 billion, yung budget for bridges binawasan ng 6.97 billion. So total something like 73.44 billion. Tama po ba?
Excuse me. Before the Secretary replies, Representative po is requesting with the indulgence of Congressman Tino, just for a short while, please do not take this away from the time of Representative Tino.
Thank you, Representative Tino and Mr. Chair. This is important for the entire body to hear. So thanks to the good Secretary, I have the unobligated balance from 2024 and 2025, I believe. It's from 2024, if I'm correct, it's 56.7 billion. And then from 2025, it's 392.3 billion.
Yes, I can confirm that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Rep. Tino.
Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, please go ahead.
So my question was confirmation kung may ganun ngang mga pagbawas
Opo.
within the program.
We can confirm that, Mr. Chair. We can confirm.
So binawasan ng ilang programs internally pero dinagdagan naman yung iba. So sa ating pagsusuri, nadagdagan po ng malaki yung convergence and special ano ba to? Convergence and special support. Tama ba? Yun ba yung pangalan ng program? Which includes yung sinasabing CPAG at saka yung BIP. No? Ito po. There are increases in the asset preservation program, which is maintenance and rehabilitation of existing infrastructure, 18.08 billion. Tapos, Convergence and Special Support Program, pinakamalaking increase po, 56.94 billion. At further broken down into increase sa CPAG, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, increase of 45.66 billion. Ito po ay para sa mga access roads and bridges at saka sa mga public buildings, evacuation centers, among others. Tapos meron ding malaking increase sa Basic Infrastructure Program, 13.17 billion increase, mainly for multipurpose buildings. No? So, tsaka yung mga multipurpose buildings po rito, hindi yung mga maliliit lang na 10 million or so, kundi 150 million and so on. So, do you confirm the
Opo.
increases?
I can confirm po the increases in the items mentioned. Again po, ang pinanggalingan po nito ay nung tayo po ay naatasan na i-review, basically po, in the limited time, inulit po natin no, yung proseso kung saan nanggagaling po sa district levels ang mga proposal nila. Ang guidance lang po natin, kailangan ito ang mga proyektong priority. Ikalawa, ito ang mga proyektong kayang i-implement ng mabilis. Ito po yung ating guidance na binigay sa district levels at ito po ang kanilang mga isinumite. Ngayon, if I could just speak lang po as to the increase in maintenance, in the maintenance budget. No? I was informed po when I came in na in the past years daw po, talaga daw pong binaba ng todo no, ang allocation for road and bridge maintenance in the past 5-6 years. Meaning, nag-submit po ang DPWH ng budget for maintenance and repair of roads and bridges. Pero apparently, yung pong mga budget na final na ibinigay sa DPWH is halos sa po baka 20% na lang po ang natira sa proposed maintenance. And I think it became a very, very big problem for the agency, I have been informed, dahil nga daw po, since mababa ang maintenance budget, marami pong mga existing roads na in dire need of maintenance na hindi na i-maintain. Kaya po, hence, ito po ang pinanggalingan nitong malaking increase, no, para po ang sinabi po sa akin, para habulin po yung napakalaking nawala over the past 5-6 years para po sa maintenance. Dahil nga po marami ng mga sirang kalye na kaya i-maintain. By the way po, yung pong mga issues na rinaise ni Congressman Irice kanina about yung pong dredging at ano, kasama din daw po ito dun sa budget na yon na nabawasan po ng napakalaki in the past 6 years.
Okay.
But again po, yung mga detalye po nito ay bibigay po namin in detail sa komite within the day or in the next few days po. Salamat po.
Thank you. So, to summarize yung point so far, no? So, more or less, bukod sa tinanggal ang malaking bahagi ng flood control, nagbawas din po ng roughly 75 billion sa ibang mga programa ng DPWH at nagdagdag naman ng 75 more or less sa iba pa. Yung mga nabanggit natin, road maintenance, bridges, yung tinatawag na convergence. So bridges, multipurpose buildings, and so on and so forth. Okay. At sinabi nyo rin, so in other words, parang ang ginawa rito, sinantabi nyo muna yung future development of projects kasi tinanggal nyo po yung feasibility studies, binawasan nyo ng malaki. Yung right of way. So para magtuloy-tuloy ang mga proyekto, kailangan may right of way. So mukhang tinanggal nyo muna yung budget doon at pinrioritize yung mga local projects which, if I will translate kung ano yung sinabi nyo plainly, nanggaling po sa mga distrito, meaning nanggaling sa mga kongresista. No? Normally, tama po ba, this would be considered congressional insertions, but since these are part of your resubmitted budget, ay sa inyo na po yan. So in other words, you take full responsibility for what would normally be considered congressional insertions.
Um, Tama po yun, Mr. Chair. No? Lahat po nga ito, like I said earlier, galing po sa baba, following the usual process no, that I've been appraised about. Pero yung sa right of way naman po, again, ang instruction ko po nung ito'y riniripaso is ano po ba ang mga pinaka-critical na right of way na kailangang mapondohan at magagamit. No? And apparently, ang tinanggalan po dito ay ang malaking tinanggal po dito ay yung right of way ng Toll Regulatory Board. These are the PPP right of ways that actually have already been acquired no or covered. Opo. So, and para po mapondohan nga po itong mga ibang proyekto na nanggaling sa district levels, paakyat, dun po tayo kumuha dahil ang assessment po ng ahensya, mas kinakailangan po ang
at iba pa. They are in the 2025 budget. Paano po yan? Ibig sabihin, ini-implement na ba yan? Anong mangyari dito?
Mr. Chairman, maraming
please wrap
salamat
up.
po. Kung mamarapatin niyo po, kung maibibigay niyo po sa akin itong
Sige
listahan
po,
na ito,
ibigay po natin.
at ang commitment po natin, isasama po natin to sa mga iimbestigahan natin. Kung
Okay.
bakit po ganyan.
So, thank you. We will do that. So, pahingi na lang po nung, more or less, if you can provide us with a list of the new projects that are found in, na pinasok sa new budget. At yun po, we would appreciate an update. Bibigay namin yung list of duplicates and we would appreciate an update on these 2025 duplicate projects. Thank you, Mr.
We
Chairman.
will comply,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Representative Tino. Now we go back to the majority and we recognize Representative Coco Yap.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair. Majung buntag to our fellow colleagues here and our DPWH families. Concern ko lang po, Mr. Chair, regarding po sa mga Maharlika Bridge sa Second District of Southern Leyte. We are yung Typhoon Odette po landed in my district. No? Ang dami pang mga roads na nasira during Typhoon Odette na hindi pa rin na repair and rehab. And natanggal, kasama sa mga flood control, natanggal yung mga roads natin. Yung dalawang tulay, ay very important yung tulay namin kasi ito yung nag-connect ng 4 municipality namin sa district ko. Walang other means of transportation. So right now, from 33 tons, 3 tons na lang ang dumadaan ngayon. So double handling yung mga tao. Yung consequence, tataas yung presyo ng bilihin. We've been doing it, yung tao nagdurusa na for quite some time, 3 months now, and hindi napunduhan for next year kasi natanggal lahat na yung malalaking tulay namin. So I hope yung flood control lang siguro yung dapat matanggal, yung mga roads namin, water system namin, yung Maharlika rehab ng Maharlika Roads, sana po mabigyang pansin kasi very important sa amin. And na-commit din ng DPWH dati na matugunan yung tulay. Kasi nga ngayon, hindi namin alam, DSWD ba, bibigyan ba kami ng assistance, emergency assistance sa lahat ng tao? Kasi doble yung bilihin. So, even the construction materials, kung magtatayo sila ng bahay, talagang very, very expensive. So, yun ang hingi namin, na sana hindi maapektuhan yung wala namang kasali sa flood control. And of course, another suggestion ko na lang po, for now, na siguro walang flood control, dapat siguro i-equip na lang natin yung mga DPWH ng mga equipment, Tapos dredging equipment, Tapos fuel, mas cheaper pa yon, mas cost-effective pa sa DPWH. And mas madali pang matugunan yung mga issues, Especially with this climate change na nag-iiba na yung panahon natin ngayon.
Mr. Chairman, we commit po to address the concerns po of the Honorable Congressman from Cebu. At nag-usap na rin po kami kanina at gagawin po natin ang lahat na
Second
gago na para
District,
sa
Southern
Ligawan.
Leyte po.
Ay, sa Leyte, I'm so sorry. Southern Leyte po, gago na po dito sa mga problema natin, sa mga bridges natin sa San Juanico, pati na rin sa Ligawan.
Asahan po namin, Mr. Chair, na sana mabalik yung pondo sa mga hindi apektado na mga programs natin. And inaasahan po, for the longest time, sobrang liit ng pondo ng district namin. Ngayon, natapyasan pa. So, hopefully, sa sinabi ni Kong Erisi kanina, na dapat yung walang kinalaman, dapat hindi naman maapektuhan. And yung mga municipality pa namin sa district ko, 4th at 5th class. So sure ko na yung mga LGUs namin hindi kayang matugunan yung mga issues regarding sa mga SIPAG convergence program namin na nawala, na hindi matugunan nila yung mga problemang iyon, Mr. Chair.
Opo, you have our commitment, Congressman. Thank you po.
Please, submit lang namin, Mr. Chair, yung nawala sa SIPAG tsaka convergence program po.
Opo.
Thank you. At saka yung sa Maharlika po, Mr. Chair, yung sa Maharlika, and hopefully yung mga repair and rehab, makikita naman natin kasi dinadaanan niya ng karamihan. We are the nearest port going to Mindanao, vice versa. Economically, tayo yung pinakamura kasi 30 minutes away lang from port to port. Actually, na-raise ko to, Mr. Chair, nung nasa DOTR ka pa, yung sa port namin na pinarehab din namin, Mr. Chair, yung the nearest port. So, economically, nakakasave yung mga biyahero natin from Manila, from Luzon to Mindanao, Mindanao to Luzon po, Mr. Chair.
Will do po. We will also consider that para madagdagan natin ang mga pondo.
Thank you,
Maraming
Mr.
salamat.
Chair. And for that, this representation, we are in full support for your ginagawang changes sa DPWH, and I hope yung kailangan talagang matulungan at punuan ng pansin, yun talaga ang mabigyan ng pondo. Daghang salamat, and we're here to support your budget, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you, Congressman Yap. We go back to the minority. The chair now recognizes Representative Sel Jokno. Sel.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Secretary Dizon.
Good afternoon po.
Kanina po, sinabi niyo na determinado kayo na gawin mas transparent at ang budget at mas accessible sa publiko. Are there mechanisms for greater transparency in your revised budget proposal?
Mr. Chairman, I have been informed, in the operating budget of the department, there is budget, for example, for upgrading for IT systems for greater transparency, which we commit to do. For example po, isa po sa mga na-discover ko, pagpasok ko, is meron pong konting mga issues dun sa project monitoring systems ng DPWH. Apparently, hindi ito masyadong nagagamit, at unfortunately, na-discover ko din na parang nadadaya. So I think we have money in the operating budgets to upgrade and to further strengthen these systems, especially the PCMA, which is really the backbone of the monitoring system of DPWH. As I have pointed out repeatedly, libo-libo po ang proyekto ng DPWH at hindi po ito kayang i-monitor ng mano-mano. Kailangan po gumamit tayo ng bagong teknolohiya. Unfortunately po, yung existing system ay una-una, hindi pa na-upgrade, luma na, at mukhang nagawan po ng paraan para medyo hindi magamit ng tama. So we have apparently budget for that to upgrade these systems and allow them to address the current shortcomings of the system that unfortunately have been taken advantage of in the past.
Kasama po ba sa plano ninyo na magtayo o ayusin yung inyong existing website para maging interactive siya tulad ng website ng Pangulo, yung isumbong sa Pangulo, kung saan hindi lang makakapag-monitor ang mga ordinaryong mamamayan, kung hindi makakapag-report din kung meron silang nakikitang ghost project o ibang mga sira o hindi ginagawang mga proyekto.
At tama po yung sinabi nyo. In fact, maganda nga po yung model nung isumbong mo sa Pangulo website. At nakita ko na po ang website ng DPWH. Kahit ako po medyo naguluhan kung paano i-navigate. At makakaasa po kayo na ayusin po natin ito in line with best practices of transparency. In fact, ang gusto po natin talaga dyan is ma-publish, region per region, province per province, lahat po ng mga proyekto. At ipayagan pong mag-report mismo ang ating mga kababayan dahil nga po sa dami ng mga proyekto ng DPWH, kung meron silang nakikitang hindi maganda o kakulangan sa mga implementation ng projects on the ground. Gagawin po natin yan immediately, Mr. Chair.
Please do let us know if you need any additional budget for that. And I would also recommend and strongly request that the project documents, beginning with the project proposal and the approval of the budget, all the way until the release of payment, even a demand for liquidated damages, if
Opo.
any, be included and accessible to the public in the website.
Opo, thank you very much po, Mr. Chairman. At we will greatly appreciate this po. Kasi po talaga, ang nakita po natin dito talaga is, there is, unfortunately, there is really transparency is very wanting in the department right now. We have to be very, very honest about that. And hindi na po excuse ngayon dahil nandiyan na po ang teknolohiya, nandiyan na po ang best practices. Kasama na rin po dyan yung launch ng ating Pangulo na isumbong sa Pangulo website. Kailangan po sumunod na ang departamento dito sa mga best practices na ito. At yun po ang gagawin natin at mag-update po tayo sa Kongreso sa mga gagawin natin sa mga susunod na buwan at susunod na linggo at susunod na buwan.
Speaking of transparency, there are proposals by the CSOs for government, not just the DPWH, but the entire executive department, to create a transparency server where all budget matters, including kung magkaroon ng budget insertions, ay ilalagay doon at ma-access ng publiko. Would you be in favor of that, Secretary Vince?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman.
So we have your commitment. if
You
that
have
happens.
my commitment personally, and you will have the commitment of the department to work with, especially with our CSOs and our stakeholders, our local stakeholders, on ensuring transparency.
Kanina din po sinabi niyo na kailangan niyo ng tulong ng mga CSOs, mga komunidad sa pag-monitor ng flood control and other infra projects. Does your revised budget proposal have any mechanisms for CSO and community participation in monitoring flood control and other infra projects?
I've been informed po na meron. But just to give you as an example po, Mr. Chairman, kahapon po nung nasa La Union po kami ni Mayor Benji Magalong, ang actually nag-report po nung proyektong binisita namin kahapon ay isang civil society organization in La Union. And in fact, nag-propose po sila ng MOA between that particular CSO and the DPWH. And gagawin po namin yon, Mr. Chairman, and we are more than willing to do the same for other CSOs all over the country po.
Ay, maganda po yun. Nabanggit din po ninyo sa isang interview recently that you will be releasing or coming out with a master plan for the NCR with the support of the ADB by 2026. Ang tanong ko po, how about a master plan for the entire country? Is that also part of your revised budget proposal or your future plans?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Actually, it's the World Bank and JICA combined. It is the integrated flood risk mitigation master plan for NCR. Ito po ay ongoing ngayon at according po sa ating team, matatapos na po ito by next year. So maganda po itong umpisa para nga po hindi na po mauulit itong mga nangyari nitong mga nakaraan na meron pong mga ginagawang mga flood control project na wala man ngang plano at wala man ngang basehan sa isang integrated master plan all over the country.
So magkakaroon din ng master plan for the entire country.
Yun po ang plano natin, Mr. Chairman. No? Ang commitment po natin, Mr. Chairman, uulitin ko po, no? Sa susunod na taon po, no? Sa pag-craft pa lang ng budget, hindi po tayo magpapalusot walang plano. Marami po sa mga nakita natin ngayong mga proyektong may problema dito sa flood control specifically, mga proyekto po na wala man lang ni plano. Kahit anong detailed engineering design, kahit anong feasibility study, wala man lang po. At ang commitment po at ang gusto pong mangyari ng ating Pangulo ay hindi na po mauulit yan.
How ironic that a department that requires plans to implement projects apparently doesn't have.
Very ironic po, Mr. Chairman.
One more question, Mr. Chair, if I may. Karamihan po ng mga flood control projects na existing ay usually ay naka-involve o nakasentro sa mga concrete type of based solutions. You have dredging, drainage, and other concrete-based solutions. How do you intend to move away from this and more in the direction of nature-based solutions that would include, for example, issues of reforestation, issues of water flow, and the consideration of the existing river basins that our country has?
Tama po yun, no? Nature-based or more minimal interventions. No? Halimbawa po, no, yung pong nakita nating magandang ehemplo na unfortunately nasira po dahil sa isang flood control na ginawa, no? Yung utilization po of boulder gabions, which are not necessarily nature-based, meaning hindi sila natural, pero very minimal po ang effect sa ating kalikasan. Sinira pa nga po yun at to give way to a very concrete-based flood control project in Oriental Mindoro. No? So, lahat po yan ay kailangan po talagang pag-aralan. No? And I think, ang importante po talaga is manggagaling po ang mga plano sa ating local development councils, provincial development councils, up to regional development councils. Dahil dun po, meron na pong CSO representation doon, meron pong wide stakeholder representation doon. Unfortunately po, hindi po ganon ang nangyari dito sa pagtatayo nitong mga flood control projects na nakikita natin ngayon. So, kailangan po nating baguhin yon.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. At babantayin din po natin yan. I have no more questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Maraming
Thank
salamat
you very
po.
much.
Thank you po.
We go back to the majority, and we now recognize Deputy Majority Leader Gil Acosta. If he's not around, so we go on to the next on the list. We now recognize Deputy Majority Jam Baronda. Wala rin. Next would be Representative Marlene Agabas, who is definitely here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. To the DPWH family, my dear colleagues, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Habang ako po ay nakikinig sa ating secretary, hindi ko po maiwasang magdasal. I can feel the heavy burden on your shoulder. So, ang tanging pabaon po namin sa inyo, secretary ng aking distrito, ay ang aming dasal in Ilocano. Diyos ti kumuyog kada kayo, Diyos ti mangtaribabay kada kayo. Well, actually, nagpapasalamat din po ako. Na-discuss ko po sa inyo kanina sa oras po ninyo sa mga concerns po ng aking distrito. Nabanggit ko po, Mr. Chair, ng aking distrito po ay napaikutan po ng bundok. Marami po kami mga rivers. Nandun po ang Agno River, the 5th largest river in the country. Ambaywan, Dipalo, Biray, Totonogen, Banila. Ang dami pong mga rivers. And nandun din po ang San Roque Dam, the 2nd biggest dam in Asia and the 16th biggest dam in the world. And kung kaya't noong 2009, nabanggit ko po kay Secretary na ang 2nd floor po ng SM ay halos na-reach po ng tubig ang 2nd floor. So with those, sir, alam po namin kung ano po yung direksyon ng inyong pong ahensya. Kami po ay susunod sa anuman po, nakasuporta po kami sa sound judgment po ng Presidente at ng DPWH. At bagamat may pangamba po sa amin na baka pag may malakas na bagyo at nagsabay po ang tubig ulan, tubig bundok, at saka tubig po na galing sa San Roque Dam, ay magkaroon ng baha. Ang naiisip ko po ngayon, may quick response fund naman ang ating gobyerno. Kaya baka pwede rin kahit paano, pwede tayong magpatulong dun sa pondo na yon sa mga na-damage nitong nagdaan ng mga bagyo. So, sir, last na lang po, mayroon na ako kasing nakita sa akin pong pag-iikot sa aking distrito. Sabi po nila, kuminsan nagko-complain po kasi ang mga magsasaka. Dahil sa flood control po, ayaw po totally ng tubig. Kaya sinasarhan, walang tubig dapat na pumasok. Pero sa aming pong lugar na irrigation, ang kinabubuhay po ay pagsasaka, kakailanganin naman po na magsasaka ang tubig. So, kung minsan, paano gagawa ng design, yun po yung nagiging challenge na ayaw ng tubig ng flood control pero gusto ng tubig ng irrigation. So siguro po pwede rin pong pagtuunan ng pansin yun sa mga design at sa mga plano po para po mas maging maganda po ang mga proyekto natin. So yun lang po yung observation ko po, sir. So again, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong ahensya. Good luck po at may the good Lord guide you always. Thank you po.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am. Mr. Chairman, maraming salamat po. Unang-una po, gusto ko lang pong mag-update. Meron po tayong ongoing na actually detailed engineering design na po ng Integrated Flood Resilience and Adaptation Project for the Agno River Basin. Coverage po nito ay regions 1, 2, 3 at CAR. no? At ito po ay matatapos na ngayong 2026, no? At makakaasa po kayo na once na po, matapos po ito at hihingi na po tayo ng kaukulang pondo para po masimula na ang implementation ng mga projects under this integrated master plan for flood mitigation and resilience. At ikalawa po, very noted po yung inyong sinabi tungkol sa issues on irrigation at makikipag-coordinate din po kami sa National Irrigation Administration para naman po hindi lang natin basta-bastang sinasara ang ating mga ilog para maprotektahan from floods ang mga communities, kundi kailangan din pong nakatake into account yung kinakailangan ng mga communities, lalo na yung mga agri-communities natin for irrigation. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa update na po yan. Good news po yan, Mr. Chairman, Secretary, sa distrito po namin. Kasama po ba ang allied rivers po ng Agno River doon po sa sinasabi po?
Kasama po ang allied rivers, buong Agno River Basin po. Kasama po yung mga tributaries at yung mga allied rivers.
Maraming salamat po. Dahil 10 bayan po ng aming distrito, nasa red po kami lahat ng Project NOAA. So, again, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Mabuhay po kayo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Agabas. We go now to the minority, and we now recognize Representative Alan T., who I don't think is here. Next on the list is Representative Audrey Zubiri, who I don't think is here again. So next on the list, who I know is here, is our good friend, Deputy Minority Leader Percy Sendanya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon to the DPWH family. I can imagine that this has been the longest 2 weeks of your life. So to the good secretary, from 1 to 10 po, kumusta po ang ating stress level? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
15 po siguro.
Maraming salamat. Earlier, you've mentioned about the instruction of the President that, and I quote, "We will clean this up now." So I believe that in the process of cleaning things, kinakailangan alam mo kung gaano kalaki yung dumi o kalat. So using the same range and scale, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how big is the mess in the DPWH, Mr. Secretary?
15 din po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much for the very candid response. And on a related note, sa isang punto po na tinanong kanina, nabanggit po natin that because of the due diligence exercised by the new leadership of the DPWH, natanggal po yung layers of fat and cancerous cells dun sa ating budget, dito sa duplicate projects, completed projects, plus of course yung overlapping at saka yung the usual cat's eye and stud projects. Dito po sa A and B, lalo na for duplicate projects and completed projects, what will happen to those who proposed these projects for the inclusion in the original NEP? Ano po ang gagawin natin sa kanila?
Unang-una po, no, to the best of our ability po, we tried our best given the limited time to eliminate. But again, ulitin ko po, kung meron pong makita ang komite, more than ano po kami, no, supportive of any other deletions that may be done by Congress, since Congress po has full and complete power of the purse. Para naman po dun sa mga sinasabi niyong mga naglagay nito, aalamin po natin kung sino ang mga ito at isasama po natin ito sa ating ongoing investigation from top to bottom. Yun na rin po ang utos ng ating Pangulo na kailangan mag-cleansing tayo from top to bottom at aalamin po natin yun. At kung meron po kayong information, Mr. Chairman, I will be more than happy po to accept whatever information you can provide regarding this.
I understand that you have so much, that your hands are full now, pero ano po kaya ang timeline natin in holding accountable itong mga responsable dito sa duplicate projects at paglalagay ng completed projects?
Ito po ang isa sa mga urgent at immediate na kailangan natin gawin. No? Kailangan po immediate ang pananagot ng mga dapat managot. Yun po ang direktiba mismo ng Presidente. Kaya po kung mapapansin nyo, wala po kaming tigil sa pag-iimbestiga, wala kaming pong habang nag-iimbestiga po kami po ay magfa-file immediately ng mga karampatang kaso, both administrative at criminal charges. At kung meron po tayong ebidensya, immediately po ay una, tayo po ay mag-initiate ng immediate dismissal proceedings sa mga mapatunayang may kasalanan dito sa mga bagay na ganito. Hindi lang po yun po ay fa-file natin ng mga kaso at syempre yan po itutuloy natin to the very end hanggat ma-resolve po yung mga kasong yan.
So aabangan po ng taong bayan ano yung magiging dulo ng ating mga efforts. At malinaw naman po yung writings on the wall, heads should roll. Ito pong mga kasama ko sa akbayan ay pinagkumpara po yung NEP at GAA through the years, no? Particularly on a particular item na nagulat po kami. Di po ba ngayon all eyes are on flood control in terms of insertions? Pero may nakita po kami parang mas malaki pa sa flood control. And we're talking about ito pong CSSP. Hindi po yung College of Social Sciences and Philosophy para sa mga taga-Diliman, yung CSSP po na Convergence and Special Support Programs. Napansin po natin in terms of insertion, difference po between NEP at yung actual na GAA. In 2024, ang insertion ay 237 billion. And in 2025 naman po ay 265 billion. At constant po, no? Grabe yung difference between the NEP and GAA amount nito pong CSSP mula 2022. 2022, it's 146. 2023, it's 174. At yung iba pa pong amounts na nabanggit ko kanina for both 2025 and 2026. Ano po ba itong CSSP at bakit ganito kalaki yung nangyayaring adjustment at difference between the NEP and the GAA?
Hingi po ako ng paumanhin, Mr. Chairman. No? Iniintindi ko pa po lahat ito. Pero ang aking pong simpleng pagkakaintindi sa Convergence Program, ito po ang programa ng DPWH na katuwang niya ang iba't ibang mga departamento at iba't ibang ahensya ng national government. Kasama na po dyan ang Department of Tourism, ang Department of Trade and Industry, at iba pang mga ahensya. Kasama na rin po yung dati kong, yung pinanggalingan kong ahensya, yung DOTR. Para po sana, ang mga proyekto ng iba't ibang ahensya na nangangailangan ng suporta in terms of roads, bridges, at connectivity ay naa-address. No? Yun po ang aking simpleng pagkakaintindi. At base po sa simpleng pagkakaintindi ko sa programang yan, maganda po yung programang yan. Unfortunately po ata, and I was just informed about this in the past couple of days, is nung mga nakaraan daw po, is merong pong napapasok na mga flood control projects din po dito sa CSSP, no? Through CPAG, no? So yan po, unang-una po, ayon na rin sa direktiba ng Pangulo natin, tinanggal po natin yan, no? Yung flood control projects. Pero po, I think ang masasabi ko na lang po is, kahit ano po pong proyekto ito, no? Convergence project, local project, foreign assisted project, flagship project, kailangan po ito, unang-una, kailangan po mabantayan natin ang pagpo-procure at pag-eventual award ng mga proyektong to, regardless of where these projects are in the budgetary allocations of DPWH. And number two, kailangan pong ma-monitor ng tama at mabuti ang pag-i-implement ng mga proyektong ito. So yun po ang gagawin po natin at sisiguruhin natin moving forward, talagang mabantayan po ng maigi ang procurement process at ang implementation at execution ng mga proyektong ito, regardless of what budgetary item they are.
Thank you. The chair would like just to interject for clarification, Representative Sandanya, for the benefit of everyone. The comparison you're making from the NEP to the GAA was, I think, the NEP of 2024 to the GAA ng 2025. Kasi ngayon, nasa NEP pa lang tayo, nasa 2025 NEP pa lang tayo. Wala pa yung GAA to 2026. So, in fairness naman kay Secretary, he did commit na aayusin lahat yan. And taking the cue from the President during his SONA, sinabi pa niya mismo na ang NEP, ang GA, hindi lalayo sa NEP. Kung hindi, i-veto pa nga niya. And we also heard a guarantee from the majority leader himself na hindi lalayo yung NEP dun sa GA sa mga susunod na budgets. So, just to put things into perspective. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you very much for sharing your perspective on this issue. Let's talk about 2026. Dito po sa revised budget natin, nadagdagan po ng 57 billion yung allocation po natin for CSSP. Pwede po ba nating malaman bakit siya nadagdagan? Thank you.
Again po, nadagdagan po ito dahil nga po yung ating yung usual budget process po no, na nanggagaling sa ating mga district offices ay pinigit po nating ulitin no, in the very limited time frame that we were given. No? At ito po ang naging mga suggested na proyekto na nanggaling sa ating mga either district or regional offices. No? Pero ulitin ko po, no? Ang commitment po natin, nanggaling na rin po sa ating Pangulo, is lahat po ng mga ito ay babantayan natin mula sa procurement ng mga proyektong ito, sa bidding, sa eventual award, hanggang sa pag-i-implement at pagmamonitor ng tamang implementation po ng mga proyektong ito. Pero kailangan po talagang dumaan tayo sa prosesong yon dahil sa kulang sa oras unang-una. Pero tingin ko po sa susunod na budget sa 2027, kailangan po talagang ripasuhin din itong prosesong ito para masigurado po natin ang mabuti na moving forward po itong mga budget proposals na nanggagaling sa district, paakyat ng regional, paakyat sa central office, talagang masiguro natin na responsive po sa mga totoong pangangailangan po ng mga communities.
At kasama niyo po ang taong bayan na magbabantay para tiyakin na ito ang mangyayari sa susunod na budget cycles, and especially for this budget cycle. But again, we cannot express our alarm enough on this difference in terms of the NEP and the GAA for both 2024 and 2025, which would be around 500 billion pesos. Having said that, Mr. Chair, thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din. We now go back to the majority and we recognize Vice Chair Ana York Bondok.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And first of all, I would like to congratulate our Kabalen Secretary Vince Dizon for being personally chosen by our President to be the new DPWH Secretary. Namit ko po siya during the vaccine process, and napaka-humble, napaka-down-to-earth. Additionally, of course, we are very proud po na Kapampangan po siya. So I'm sure Dizon knows that our district has been named the #1 most flooded district in the entire Philippines. Kung may prize po, ako na yon. And we have also been named by the Climate Change Commission as the most climate change threatened province in the whole Philippines. So we have been underwater since before the SONA. And our schools, 2 months na po ang atin pong school calendar. And 1 month na pong hindi pumapasok ang mga bata. So grabe po. Ngayon po, wala na pong flood controls. But I was reassured by our district na wala na pong flood control, pero don't worry, may flood pa po. So, sana po, yesterday, during the budget hearing po of the DND, I requested to build an army camp. So nagulat po si Sec Gibo. Sabi niya, Ana, ba't ka naman naghahanap ng kampo ng army? Sabi ko, Sec, kasi hindi na po aalis yung baha. Kaya kailangan nakatira na po sa amin yung army dahil araw-araw na po kaming i-rescue. So I hope, hindi ko na po i-detail kung ano po ang nangyari. But rest assured po, nung nagbibigayan po ng mga anomalous flood controls, yung mga katabi ko po, mga 9B, 5B, ako po 1B lang. So akala ko po, hopefully we will be open to a conversation po, no? Sa mga proper flood controls. Kasi meron naman ho talagang nababaha. And that's a given. And our country is named as one of the most climate change threatened in the entire world. So hindi ko na po i-detail, and I hope that we would be open to a conversation po sa mga justifiable flood control projects. I think you mentioned yung mga RDC. Nasa atin po lahat yun. And we are actually just maintaining foreign loans. Kasi po, these foreign loans have been contracted many years back and paid na po ito. Sayang naman po ang pera ng Pilipinas kung dahil wala po tayong maintenance, which is labeled a flood control, masisira na lang po yung buong foreign loan. So itong mga foreign loans, which include the Pampanga Delta and yung atin pong tail dike, all built with Japanese money, sana po i-maintain natin. Kasi kung hindi, mas lalo pong grabe yung mangyayari. So 2 years ago po, Secretary, would you be open ho to a conversation?
Absolutely po, ma'am. Absolutely.
Ayan, lumalakas na po yung loob namin. So after that, last year, 2 years ago po, yung aming nabaha ang NLEX because of our district again. And it caused a 10-hour Carmageddon. Na baka ho marami sa inyo, marami hong di nakapasok coming from Pampanga. O, isa na ho daw si Sec. So, yun po yung importance eh. If in terms of flood control, some areas are really going to affect the entire Metro Manila. And as I mentioned po to Sec Gibo, national security problem. Kasi po, main artery po ang nababaha. So I was very sorry that the NLEX was flooded. Pero I was also very happy that the NLEX was flooded. Bakit? Kasi kung kami lang ang nababaha, nobody cares. Pero pag si NLEX nabaha, ay nako, nagwawala na lahat. So, meron ho kaming tulay doon that the President also prioritized. Again, it's not in the budget. So I hope you will also be open po sa isang conversation. And we have bridges across national roads po na hindi napondohan. So sana mapag-usapan po natin ito.
Most definitely po, ma'am. And we will be definitely open, especially sa mga kailangan pong mga bridges na kailangan naman po talaga. Maraming pong salamat, ma'am.
And so yun po, again, I would like to commend Yusek Emil Sadain. Malaking tulong po yan. And one of the flagship projects po ng Pangulo is mentioned here, yung atin pong Integrated Disaster Risk Reduction as one of the flagship projects na natapos. Kami po ay may part 2 noon, so I hope pwede po nating pag-usapan. I would also like to commend Yusek Ador Canlas na alam ko pong makakatulong po sa inyo. Banggitin ko rin po yung aming RD, si Sir Dong Tolentino, and my DE, nagpapabanggit po, si DE Almer Miranda. Thank you so much, Secretary. More power po sa inyong
Salamat
department.
po, ma'am. And makakaasa po kayo. Dakal pong salamat, ma'am.
Thank you very much. May shout out po eh, no? From the minority, this chair would like to recognize Deputy Minority Leader Reynolds Tan. Is he around?
Good afternoon po, Secretary and the rest of the DPWH family. So, first of all po, natutuwa po ako kanina na nabanggit po sa presentation ni Secretary yung tungkol sa plano for the Maharlika Highway. So, yung Maharlika Highway po, alam naman po natin, or for the past 3 consecutive budget hearings, yun at yun lang po yung binabanggit ko. So, if you would allow me, may very short presentation lang po ako. I hope na ready na yung presentation. So, ito po, tanong lang po to. Ito po yung kung saan po ba yung kalsadang ito. Kung I know po na alam na ni Secretary kasi nabanggit ko po to. Can you play the video po? So, this is the current status of the Maharlika Highway in Samar po. I have been repeatedly asking and saying and begging para po maayos to. And until now, ito po yung current itsura niya po. So, mukha po siyang moon craters. So, next video please. Oh, next slide please. So, next po. So, yung Maharlika Highway po, it connects Luzon to Mindanao and Visayas and vice versa. Next slide po. So, sa buong second district po, first and second district ng Samar po, we have 96 kilometers for the first district and 109 kilometers for the second district. Next slide. If you will see po, per district, ito po yung mga respective na mga kilometers per district. But you can see, first and second district, yun po yung pinakamataas sa buong Region 8. Next slide po. So in a short, yung nasa Samar Province po, we have 52% of the Maharlika Highway. So, ito naman po, Secretary, yung first district po, meron po tayong 848 million for this year, for next year na pre-propose. And sa second district naman po, meron na nasa NEP, sa original is 1 billion 99, pero still yung lacking po is 3 billion plus per district. So, dyan na po, stop na natin dyan. So anyway po, yung tanong ko lang po, last time po kasi, yung 800 plus for the first district and 1 billion 99 for the second district, nagrereklamo pa po kami, Secretary, kasi naliliitan kami. Nakita nyo naman po yung kailangan. Unfortunately po, nung binalik sa DPWH yung budget at binaba ulit ng DPWH yung budget, mas lalo pa siyang nabawasan ng 229 million for the first district and 234 billion para sa second district. So, yung tanong ko po, Secretary, ano po ba ang nangyari at ano po ba yung pwede nating gawin tungkol dito since, as mentioned po, kailangan talaga namin and nabanggit ko na po ito sa iyo before, si former Secretary Bunuan po have mentioned na yung Maharlika Highway gagawing part daw ng ODA which will start yung civil works sa 2027. Pero since nakita nyo naman po sa picture yung current status, I don't think na makakapag-antay po kami. So going back to the question po, yung 200 plus million per district po na naalis, ano po ba yung pwede nating magawa doon para maibalik to? Kasi nanghihingi pa nga po kami ng additional kasi hindi po siya sapat.
Unang-una po, no, I've been informed po kasi na meron pa pong mga pending unreleased po for 2025. So I think immediately po, dudulog po ako sa ating Department of Budget and Management at kung kinakailangan po kay Pangulo mismo para po ma-release. And apparently, it is a significant amount na pwede po nating gamitin sa repair po, no, ng daang Maharlika. No, pero kailangan po talaga is mapondohan po natin ito. No? At ito nga po, no, tinatanong ko po kung bakit po ito nabawasan. Pero apparently, pwede po tayong maghanap ng ibang source through ang program appropriation para po madagdagan natin ito immediately. No? Yun din po ang sinabi sa akin ni former Secretary Manny Bonoan nung binrief po niya ako nung kami nag-turnover. So, una po yun, no? So, yung unreleased amounts for 25 and if possible po, unprogrammed amounts for 20, and also from savings from 2025. No? Para po may immediate na po tayong pwedeng magawa. No? Para hindi lang ma-address ito agad, pero ma-augment din po yung mga nawalang pondo throughout the years.
Secretary, thank you po for the response. Pero itatanong ko lang po sana, I want to be clarified, what do you mean by maghahanap ng pondo para po ibalik tong 234 million na nawala sa original na sinubmit yung NEP, tapos yung binalik nyo po, nabawasan siya. Yun po ba yung ibig yung sabihin, or maghahanap pa po kayo ng pondo para ibalik to and dagdagan po yung current na budget allocation for the Maharlika Highway?
Sinasabi po sa akin ng ating planning office na pwede po nating we will coordinate po with the Committee on Appropriations para po maibalik yung 234 million na nawala unfortunately.
Sige po, 234 po for second district and 229 for the first. And
Salamat po.
last, expired na po ba yung time ko? And last question na lang po in relation for clarification po. Yung nabanggit nyo po tungkol sa unprogrammed funds, what did you mean by maghahanap po ng unprogrammed funds? Para po ba sa additional na kailangan po? Kasi as of this moment po, sa second district ng Samar po, maliban po sa 1 billion, kung mababalik tong 234 million, so magiging 1 billion 99 ulit yung intended funds. Pero para po maayos yung 2 lanes lang sa gitna na hindi pa funded nung 1 billion 99, we need 700 million more po. Kasi kung isasama natin yung mga widening and everything, abot po tayo ng 3 billion. Pero ayoko na lang muna siguro yung mga widening, kahit yung two lanes lang sa gitna, at least maging passable siya. Sobra na po talaga yung hirap ng Samar, and it did not help nung nasira pa yung San Juanico Bridge.
Opo, apologies po Mr. Chairman. Hindi po pala unprogram, unreleased po. Ang sources po na possible for 2025 are unreleased and also yung pong savings for 2025. And sinabi lang po sa akin ngayon ng ating USEC for Operations, yung pong para sa dalawang linya sa carriageway, no, sa yung dalawang gitnang linya, no, na 700 million, mukha pong kaya po between savings of 2025 as well as yung pong unreleased amounts for 2025.
Wow, that is good to hear po. Pero isasabay ko na lang po yung sa first district, meron din po silang 400 million, same din po. Yung two lanes sa gitna po na sira, na hindi rin siya funded this year, and yung expected na funding for next year, another 400 million po na kailangan na funds po yun.
Opo, makikipag-ugnayan po ang ating Undersecretary for Operations sa dalawang distrito ng Samar para po makuha natin yung total at mapondohan po natin